The arrival. The sleek, silver spacecraft glided through the star-studded expanse of space, its destination looming ever closer. Inside, Alex Chen pressed their face against the viewing port, heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. The Galactic Academy's main campus stretched across an entire moon, its gleaming spires and sprawling gardens a testament to the advanced civilizations that called this corner of the universe home. Alex swallowed hard, trying to quell the butterflies in their stomach. As the first human ever accepted into the Academy's prestigious xenobiology program, they carried the weight of Earth's hopes and dreams on their shoulders. It was a burden Alex hadn't fully grasped when they'd applied on a whim, never expecting to be chosen. The ship's computer chimed softly. Prepare for docking procedures. Please secure all personal belongings and remain seated. Alex double-checked the straps holding them in place, their fingers brushing against the worn leather of their grandfather's aviator jacket, a piece of home they couldn't bear to leave behind. The spacecraft shuddered slightly as it entered the Academy's atmosphere, and Alex closed their eyes, taking deep breaths to calm their nerves. Minutes later, with a gentle bump and hiss of hydraulics, the ship came to rest in one of the Academy's countless docking bays. Alex's eyes snapped open, drinking in the sight of their new home for the next 4 years. The bay bustled with activity, hover droids zipping back and forth with luggage, and beings of all shapes and sizes disembarking from various vessels. "Welcome to the Galactic Academy," a melodious voice announced over the ship's speakers. "Please proceed to the main atrium for orientation and dormitory assignments. We hope you enjoy your stay and wish you the best in your academic pursuits." Alex unbuckled their restraints with shaking hands and grabbed their duffel bag. They had packed light, bringing only the essentials and a few cherished mementos from Earth. As they stepped off the ship, the gravity shift hit them like a wave, making their steps feel heavier and more deliberate. The atrium was a marvel of alien architecture, a vast, open space with a transparent dome that offered a breathtaking view of the starry sky above. Holographic screens flickered to life around Alex, displaying welcome messages in countless languages. They squinted, searching for anything remotely resembling Earth English, when a gentle tap on their shoulder made them jump. "You look lost, new one," a soft, musical voice said. Alex turned to find themselves face to face with a being that looked like a cross between a jellyfish and a sunflower. Its translucent body pulsed with bioluminescent light, and what appeared to be petals framed a central cluster of eyes. "I am Xylax, third-year student of psychic harmonics. And you are?" "Alex," they stammered, trying not to stare. "Alex Chen, first year, xenobiology." Xylax's petals rippled in what Alex hoped was a friendly gesture. "Ah, xenobiology, a fascinating field. And you're human, correct? We haven't had one of your kind here before." Alex nodded, feeling a flush creep up their neck. "Yeah, I'm the first. Lucky me, right?" "Indeed." Xylax's body pulsed brightly. "The odds of selection must have been astronomical. You should be proud. Alex Chen of Earth." Before Alex could respond, a commotion near the center of the atrium drew their attention. A group of tall, muscular beings with iridescent scales and sharp, beak-like mouths had gathered, their voices rising in what sounded like a heated argument. "Ah." Xylax's voice took on a note of concern. "The Kraxar, always quick to assert their dominance. Best to give them a wide berth, especially on the first day." Alex watched, fascinated and a little terrified, as one of the Kraxar, easily 7 feet tall, lifted another alien off the ground with one hand. The unfortunate being, which resembled a sentient cloud of gas, pulsed frantically as it tried to escape the Kraxar's grip. "Shouldn't someone do something?" Alex asked, looking around for security or staff members. Xylax's petals drooped slightly. "The Academy believes in allowing species to resolve their own conflicts within reason. It's meant to prepare us for the realities of galactic diplomacy. But sometimes, they trailed off, their bioluminescence dimming. Alex felt a surge of indignation. This wasn't right. Before they could second-guess themselves, they were striding across the atrium, their grandfather's words echoing in their mind. Stand up for what's right, even when you're scared. Especially when you're scared. Hey! Alex called out, their voice cracking slightly. The Kraxar turned, yellow eyes narrowing as they focused on the small human approaching them. Put them down. This isn't how we should be starting our first day. The lead Kraxar, its scales shimmering with hues of green and gold, let out a sound that might have been a laugh. And who are you, little soft skin, to tell us what to do? Alex swallowed hard, their mouths suddenly dry. I'm Alex Chen, and I'm telling you that bullying others doesn't make you strong. It makes you a coward. A hush fell over the atrium. Even the floating gas being stopped its frantic pulsing, all eyes now fixed on the confrontation between the human and the towering Kraxar. The lead Kraxar's eyes flashed dangerously. You dare call me a coward? Do you know who I am, human? Someone who picks on those smaller than them. Alex shot back, heart pounding so hard they were sure everyone could hear it. Where I come from. That's the definition of a coward. For a moment, Alex was certain they were about to become the Galactic Academy's shortest-lived student. The Kraxar's free hand clenched into a fist, scales bristling like angry spines. But then, to everyone's surprise, the alien let out a booming laugh. You have spirit, little human, the Kraxar said, lowering the gas being back to the ground. Foolish, perhaps, but spirit nonetheless. I am Zextra, heir to the Kraxar battle fleet. Remember my name, for we will meet again. With that, Zextra and his group stalked away, leaving a wake of whispers and stares in their path. Alex let out a shaky breath, only now realizing how close they had come to disaster. Zilax glided over, their petals quivering with what might have been excitement or fear. That was unexpected and incredibly risky. Are all humans so quick to confront danger? Alex managed a weak smile. Not all of us. Sometimes I think my mouth works faster than my brain. A common trait among many species. A new voice chimed in. Alex turned to see a tall, slender being with silver skin and eyes like swirling galaxies approaching them. But one that can lead to both great trouble and great change. I am Professor Lyrna, head of the Xenobiology department. And you, Alex Chen, have certainly made an interesting first impression. Alex felt their face grow hot. I'm sorry, Professor. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. It's just. Lyrna held up a hand, silencing them. No apologies necessary. Your actions, while perhaps unorthodox, demonstrated a key quality we look for in our students, the willingness to stand up for others, even at great personal risk. It is one of the reasons you were selected for our program. Alex blinked in surprise. It is. The professor's lips curved in what might have been a smile. Indeed, humanity's capacity for empathy, even towards those vastly different from themselves, is quite remarkable. It is a trait that could serve the galactic community well, if properly nurtured. Lyrna's galaxy eyes seemed to peer into Alex's very soul. But be warned, young one, not all conflicts can be resolved with bold words and good intentions. The Academy will challenge you in ways you cannot yet imagine. Are you prepared for what lies ahead? Alex straightened their shoulders, feeling a mix of fear and determination coursing through them. I don't know if I'm prepared, Professor, but I'm willing to learn, to work hard, and to do my best to represent humanity well. Lyrna nodded, seemingly satisfied with the answer. Very good. Now, I believe you have a dormitory to find and belongings to unpack. Your classes begin at first light tomorrow. Welcome to the Galactic Academy, Alex Chen. May your journey here be enlightening. As the professor glided away, Alex felt the weight of their new reality settling upon them. They were here, at the Galactic Academy, surrounded by beings from across the cosmos, and somehow, improbably, they had already made both an ally and a potential enemy. Xilax's tendrils wrapped gently around Alex's arm, guiding them towards the dormitory assignments. "Come, friend Alex, let's get you settled. I have a feeling your time here will be anything but boring." As they walked, Alex couldn't help but grin. Whatever challenges lay ahead, whatever wonders and dangers the academy held, they were ready to face them head-on. For the first time since leaving Earth, they felt a spark of true excitement ignite within them. The adventure was just beginning. The challenge. The first week at the Galactic Academy passed in a blur of new experiences for Alex Chen. Each day brought fresh wonders and challenges, from deciphering alien languages to navigating the complex social hierarchies of their fellow students. Alex's confrontation with Zextra on the first day had not been forgotten. Whispers and stares followed them through the academy's winding corridors. As Alex settled into their xenobiology classes, they found themselves both exhilarated and overwhelmed by the vast array of life forms they were studying. Professor Lyerna's lectures were a dazzling display of holographic projections, showcasing creatures from the farthest reaches of the known universe. On this particular morning, Alex sat in the lecture hall, their attention fixed on the shimmering image of a creature that looked like a cross between an earth octopus and a sentient crystal formation. The crystalline cephalopods of Rigel 7, Professor Lyerna's melodious voice filled the room, are a fascinating example of silicon-based life. Their ability to refract light through their bodies allows them to communicate complex ideas and emotions without the need for verbal language. Alex furiously scribbled notes, their mind racing with questions. Beside them, Xilax's tendrils danced with excitement, a clear sign that the jellyfish-like being was equally enthralled. As the lecture concluded, Professor Lyerna's galaxy eyes swept across the room. "For your next assignment, you will be paired with a classmate to conduct a detailed analysis of a species of your choosing. This project will require you to delve deep into the biological, social, and environmental factors that shape alien life. Choose your partners wisely." A murmur of excitement rippled through the class. Alex turned to Xilax, a grin spreading across their face. "Partners." Xilax's petals rippled in agreement. "I would be honored, friend Alex. Perhaps we could study the psychic resonance patterns of the crystalline cephalopods. I believe there may be fascinating parallels to my own species' method of communication." As the students began to file out of the lecture hall, Alex felt a sudden chill run down their spine. Zextra and his group of Kraxar warriors were blocking the exit, their imposing forms casting long shadows across the room. Well, Zextra's gravelly voice carried a note of amusement. "If it isn't the brave little human. I've been watching you. Alex Chen. You've caused quite a stir among the first years." Alex straightened their shoulders, trying to project confidence they didn't entirely feel. "Is there something I can help you with, Zextra?" The Kraxar's scales rippled, reflecting the light in mesmerizing patterns. "As a matter of fact, there is. You see, your little display of bravery on the first day has left me curious. I wonder if all humans possess such spirit, or if you are merely an aberration." Xilax's tendrils wrapped protectively around Alex's arm. "Surely you're not suggesting a physical confrontation, Zextra. Such actions are strictly forbidden by Academy regulations." Zextra's yellow eyes narrowed. "I am well aware of the regulations, light dancer. No, what I propose is something far more enlightening. A challenge, if you will." Alex felt their heart rate quicken. What kind of challenge? A predatory grin spread across Zextra's beak-like mouth. "The Trials of Torkath. A series of tests designed to push the limits of body, mind, and spirit. It is a sacred tradition among my people, used to determine the worthiest warriors." "And if I refuse?" Alex asked, already suspecting the answer. Zextra's scales darkened to a deep crimson. "Then you prove that humans are nothing more than soft-skinned cowards, unworthy of a place among the stars. Your presence here would be reconsidered." Alex felt a surge of anger at the thinly veiled threat. They knew that backing down now would not only impact their own standing at the academy, but potentially jeopardize future opportunities for humans to study here. The weight of responsibility settled heavily on their shoulders. "I accept your challenge," Alex said, their voice steadier than they felt. "But on one condition. When I win, you and your warriors will cease any attempts to intimidate or bully other students. Deal?" A ripple of surprise passed through the gathered crowd. Zextra's eyes widened slightly, then narrowed in amusement. "Such confidence. Very well, little human. I accept your terms. The trials will begin in 3 cycles. Prepare yourself, for you face the might of the Kraxar Empire." As Zextra and his group departed, the tension in the air slowly dissipated. Alex let out a shaky breath, suddenly aware of the magnitude of what they had just agreed to. Zilax's bioluminescence pulsed with concern. "Friend Alex, do you realize what you've done? The trials of Torcath are legendary for their difficulty. Many Kraxar warriors train their entire lives to attempt them. I didn't have much choice, did I?" Alex ran a hand through their hair, a nervous habit they'd never quite shaken. "If I backed down, it would have confirmed every negative stereotype about humans. We can't let that happen." A new voice joined the conversation. A noble sentiment, but one that may prove costly. Alex turned to see Professor Lyrna approaching, her silver skin shimmering in the ambient light. "Professor, hi." Lyrna held up a hand, silencing them. "I overheard your exchange with Zextra. While I admire your courage, Alex, you must understand the gravity of the situation you now face. The trials of Torcath are not merely a test of physical prowess, but a complex series of challenges designed to push participants to their absolute limits." Alex swallowed hard. "What exactly am I up against, Professor?" Lyrna's galaxy eyes swirled with a mix of concern and curiosity. The trials typically consist of 3 main components: the body trial, which tests physical strength and endurance; the mind trial, a grueling mental challenge that can drive even the most intelligent beings to the brink; and finally, the spirit trial, a deeply personal confrontation with one's innermost fears and doubts. Alex felt their stomach churn. "And humans have never participated in these trials before, have they?" "No," Lyrna confirmed. "You will be the first, which means you will be facing challenges designed for physiology and mental capabilities very different from your own. The odds, I'm afraid, are not in your favor." A heavy silence fell over the group. Alex's mind raced, trying to process the enormity of the task ahead. They thought of Earth, of the hopes and dreams pinned on their success at the Academy. Failure now could set human-alien relations back by decades. "Then I'll just have to beat the odds," Alex said, their voice barely above a whisper. They looked up, meeting Lyrna's gaze with determination. "Professor, I know I'm in over my head, but I can't back down now. Will you help me prepare?" Lyrna studied Alex for a long moment, her expression unreadable. Finally, she nodded. "Your request goes against standard Academy protocol. However, given the unique circumstances and the potential diplomatic implications, I believe an exception can be made. I will assist you in your preparation, Alex Chen, to the best of my abilities." Relief washed over Alex. "Thank you, Professor. I won't let you down." "See that you don't," Lyrna replied, her tone serious. "For the next 3 cycles, your life will be consumed by preparation for the trials. You will train harder than you ever have before, push yourself beyond what you believe possible, and confront aspects of yourself you never knew existed. Are you truly prepared for this?" Alex took a deep breath, squaring their shoulders. "I have to be, for humanity's sake, for the Academy's, and for my own. Whatever it takes, I'll face these trials and show the galaxy what humans are truly capable of." Zilax's tendrils wrapped around Alex's arm once more, a gesture of solidarity. "You will not face this alone, friend Alex. I may not be able to participate in the trials themselves, but I will support you in any way I can." Alex felt a surge of gratitude for their alien friend. Thanks, Xilax. I have a feeling I'm going to need all the help I can get. As the group dispersed, each heading to their respective duties, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that they had just set in motion events that would change not only their own life, but potentially the course of human history. The challenge ahead was daunting, the odds stacked against them, but a small spark of excitement ignited in their chest. This was why they had come to the Galactic Academy, to push boundaries, to learn, to grow. And now, they had the chance to prove that humanity deserved its place among the stars. As Alex made their way to their dormitory, mind already racing with plans for training and preparation, they allowed themselves a small smile. Whatever the trials of Horkath held in store, one thing was certain. The galaxy was about to learn that underestimating humans was a dangerous mistake. The challenge was set. The clock was ticking. And Alex Chen, the first human at the Galactic Academy, was ready to make history. The preparation. The next 3 cycles passed in a whirlwind of intense training and study for Alex Chen. Every waking moment was dedicated to preparing for the trials of Horkath, pushing their body and mind to limits they never thought possible. In the early hours of the morning, before most of the academy stirred, Alex could be found in the holographic training arena. Today, they faced off against a simulated Kraxar warrior, its scales glistening in the artificial light. Computer, increase gravity by 0.5. Alex called out, their breath coming in short gasps. Immediately, they felt the added weight pressing down on them, making each movement a struggle. The holographic Kraxar lunged forward, its powerful arms sweeping towards Alex. With a grunt of effort, Alex ducked and rolled, narrowly avoiding the attack. They sprang to their feet, ignoring the burning in their muscles, and launched a counterattack. From the observation deck, Professor Lyrina watched with keen interest, her galaxy eyes swirling with a mix of concern and admiration. Beside her, Xilax's bioluminescence pulsed anxiously. They've improved significantly, Lyrina noted, her silvery fingers dancing over a datapad. Reaction times are up 23%, muscle density has increased by 7%, and cognitive processing speed during combat scenarios has nearly doubled. Xilax's petals rippled with worry. But will it be enough, Professor? The Kraxar are born warriors, bred for combat across generations. How can Alex hope to match that? Lyrina's lips curved in a slight smile. That, my young friend, is where humanity's greatest strength comes into play. Adaptability. Watch closely. Down in the arena, Alex had just taken a heavy blow from the holographic opponent. They stumbled back, wincing in pain, but their eyes were sharp with focus. As the Kraxar moved in for another attack, Alex suddenly dropped low, using their smaller size to their advantage. They darted between the alien's legs, causing it to overbalance. In a flash, Alex was on the Kraxar's back, using the creature's own momentum to bring it crashing to the ground. The hologram flickered and disappeared, leaving Alex standing alone in the center of the arena, chest heaving with exertion. End simulation. Alex called out, wiping sweat from their brow. Computer, what's my current success rate? A disembodied voice responded, current success rate against simulated Kraxar opponent. 62%. This represents a 15% improvement over your initial baseline. Alex nodded, a mixture of satisfaction and frustration on their face. It was progress, but would it be enough? As they made their way to the observation deck, Lyrina and Xilax met them halfway. The professor's expression was unreadable, but Xilax's tendrils reached out, offering a hydration pack. Thanks, Alex said, gratefully accepting the drink. They turned to Lyrina, a question in their eyes. Well, Professor, what's the verdict? Lyrina studied Alex for a moment before responding. Your physical preparation is progressing well. Alex, you've shown remarkable improvement in a short time. However, the body trial is only one aspect of the challenges you'll face. Alex nodded, their expression turning serious. The mind trial. I've been studying every piece of Kraxar history and culture I can get my hands on, but it still feels like I'm barely scratching the surface. Indeed, Lyrna agreed. The mind trial is designed to test not just knowledge, but also problem-solving skills, spatial reasoning, and the ability to think under extreme pressure. We must intensify your mental training. Xilax's petals perked up. Perhaps I could be of assistance there, Professor. My species' psychic abilities might help Alex develop new cognitive strategies. Lyrna considered this for a moment, then nodded. An excellent suggestion, Xilax. Your unique perspective could prove invaluable. Alex, are you willing to explore some unconventional training methods? Alex managed a tired grin. At this point, Professor, I'm willing to try anything. When do we start? Now, Lyrna said firmly. Follow me to the xenobiology lab. We have much work to do and precious little time. As they made their way through the academy's winding corridors, Alex couldn't help but feel a twinge of anxiety. The physical training had been grueling, but at least it was familiar territory. The prospect of delving into alien mental techniques was both exciting and terrifying. The xenobiology lab was a marvel of advanced technology, filled with equipment Alex could scarcely comprehend. In the center of the room stood a large egg-shaped pod that pulsed with soft, blue light. This, Lyrna explained, gesturing to the pod, is a psyche amplifier. It's typically used for deep space communication with telepathic species, but we've modified it for our purposes. It will allow you to connect directly with Xilax's consciousness, experiencing their thought patterns and cognitive processes firsthand. Alex swallowed hard, eyeing the pod with a mix of curiosity and apprehension. Is it safe? Lyrna's galaxy eyes swirled with reassurance. There is always an element of risk when dealing with cross-species neural interfaces. However, we've taken every precaution. The experience may be disorienting, but it should not cause any permanent harm. Xilax floated closer, their bioluminescence pulsing gently. Do not fear, friend Alex. I will guide you through the process. Think of it as a mental do-it, if you will. Taking a deep breath, Alex nodded. All right, let's do this. As Alex settled into the pod, electrodes attaching to their temples and spine, they closed their eyes and tried to calm their racing heart. The pod hummed to life, and suddenly, Alex felt a strange sensation, as if their consciousness was expanding beyond the confines of their body. Colors and patterns swirled in their mind's eye, more vivid and complex than anything they had ever experienced. They felt Xilax's presence, a comforting warmth in the vastness of this mental landscape. Remarkable. Lyrna's voice seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Alex, your brain waves are already beginning to synchronize with Xilax's. Now try to solve the puzzle I'm about to present. Xilax, guide them through your thought process. What followed was unlike anything Alex had ever experienced. As Lyrna presented a series of increasingly complex spatial and logical problems, Alex found themselves thinking in entirely new ways. Xilax's consciousness gently nudged and guided, showing Alex how to perceive problems from multiple dimensions simultaneously. Time seemed to lose all meaning in this mental realm. Problems that would have taken Alex hours to solve in the physical world were unraveled in moments. They felt their mind stretching, expanding, grasping concepts that had once seemed impossibly alien. When the session finally ended, and Alex emerged from the pod, they felt both exhilarated and utterly drained. Their head throbbed with a dull ache, but their eyes were bright with newfound understanding. That was incredible, Alex breathed, still trying to process the experience. Is that how your species thinks all the time, Xilax? Xilax's petals rippled with what might have been a chuckle. In a manner of speaking, yes. Though I must admit, experiencing human linear thought patterns was equally fascinating for me. Lyrna studied the data readouts with intense interest. Remarkable indeed. Alex, your cognitive flexibility has increased dramatically. This could give you a significant advantage in the mind trial. Alex nodded, a surge of hope rising in their chest. And the spirit trial. How do we prepare for that? At this, Lyrna's expression grew somber. The spirit trial is perhaps the most challenging and unpredictable of all. It delves into the deepest recesses of one's psyche, confronting fears, doubts, and unresolved conflicts. No amount of external preparation can fully ready you for what you might face. A heavy silence fell over the lab. Alex felt a chill run down their spine, remembering the doubts and insecurities that had plagued them since arriving at the academy. The spirit trial would force them to confront those fears head-on. However, Lyrna continued, her voice softening slightly. There is one thing that may help. Tell me, Alex, why did you come to the Galactic Academy? What drives you to face these trials, to push yourself beyond your limits? Alex was quiet for a moment, considering the question. When they spoke, their voice was filled with a quiet determination. I came here because I believe that humanity has something unique to offer the galaxy. We may not be the strongest or the smartest or the most advanced species out there, but we have an indomitable spirit. We face impossible odds and find a way to overcome them. I'm here to show the galaxy that humans belong among the stars, that we can adapt, learn, and grow alongside beings we once thought existed only in our wildest dreams. Lyrna nodded, a hint of approval in her swirling eyes. Hold on to that conviction, Alex. In the darkest moments of the spirit trial, when you feel lost and alone, remember why you're here. Let it be your anchor, your guiding light. As Alex left the lab that day, exhausted but filled with a renewed sense of purpose, they couldn't shake the feeling that something fundamental had changed. The trials of Thorkath still loomed ahead, a daunting challenge that would push them to their absolute limits. But for the first time since accepting Zextra's challenge, Alex felt a glimmer of real hope. They were no longer just a human student struggling to find their place in a vast, alien universe. They were a representative of Earth, carrying the hopes and dreams of their entire species. And with the support of friends like Zilax and mentors like Professor Lyrna, they were beginning to believe that the impossible might just be within reach. As the day cycle came to an end, and the Academy's artificial night descended, Alex stood at the window of their dormitory, gazing out at the star-filled sky. Tomorrow would bring more training, more challenges, more moments of doubt and triumph. But tonight, they allowed themselves a moment of quiet reflection. Whatever the trials held in store, Alex Chen was ready to face them head-on, to show the galaxy what humanity was truly capable of achieving. The preparation was nearing its end. The true test was about to begin. The confrontation. The day of the trials of Thorkath dawned, casting an eerie violet light across the Academy's sprawling campus. Alex Chen stood at the entrance of the ancient arena, a massive structure that seemed to have been carved from a single colossal asteroid. Their heart raced, a mixture of excitement and fear coursing through their veins. Remember, Professor Lyrna's voice was calm, but her galaxy eyes swirled with concern. The trials are as much about adaptability as they are about raw strength or intelligence. Trust in your training, but be prepared for the unexpected. Alex nodded, taking a deep breath to steady their nerves. I'm ready, Professor, or as ready as I'll ever be. Zilax floated nearby, their bioluminescence pulsing with encouraging patterns. We believe in you, friend Alex. Show them the true spirit of humanity. With a final nod to their mentors, Alex stepped forward, the arena's massive doors grinding open to admit them. The sound of thousands of spectators filled the air. Students, faculty, and even representatives from various galactic embassies had gathered to witness this unprecedented event. In the center of the arena stood Zextra, his scales glinting in the strange light. His yellow eyes locked onto Alex, a predatory grin spreading across his beak-like mouth. So the little human didn't flee after all. Zextra's voice boomed across the arena. Are you prepared to face the might of the Kraxar Empire? Alex Chen of Earth. Alex met his gaze steadily. I'm here to face the trials, Zextra. Nothing more, nothing less. A holographic figure materialized between them, a being of pure energy that Alex recognized as one of the Academy's most senior administrators. "The trials of Sorkath will now commence," the figure announced. "Both participants have agreed to the terms. The trials will test body, mind, and spirit. Let it be known that the outcome of these trials carries weight not just for the individuals involved, but for their respective species and cultures." The administrator turned to Alex. "Alex Chen of Earth, as the challenged party, you have the right to choose the order of the trials. How do you wish to proceed?" Alex considered for a moment, remembering their training. Starting with their strongest area might give them an early advantage, but ending on it could provide a much-needed boost if things went poorly. Decision made. They spoke clearly. "I choose to begin with the mind trial, followed by the body trial, and concluding with the spirit trial." Zextra's eyes narrowed slightly, but he nodded in acknowledgement. "So be it," the administrator declared. "Let the mind trial commence." The arena shimmered and transformed, holographic technology creating a vast, three-dimensional puzzle board that hovered in the air around them. Symbols and patterns of incredible complexity danced and shifted, forming connections that seemed to defy the laws of physics. "Your challenge," the administrator explained, "is to decipher the underlying logic of this system and predict its next configuration. You will take turns. The first to make 3 correct predictions wins this trial." Zextra stepped forward confidently, his eyes scanning the intricate patterns. After a moment of consideration, he pointed to a cluster of symbols. "There. The next configuration will form a tesseract at those coordinates." The hologram shifted, and a 4-dimensional cube materialized exactly where Zextra had indicated. A murmur of approval rippled through the crowd. Now it was Alex's turn. They closed their eyes for a moment, recalling the mental exercises they had practiced with Zilax. When they opened them again, they saw the patterns with new clarity, perceiving connections that had been invisible before. "There," Alex said, pointing to a seemingly empty space. "A Mobius strip will form, intersecting with the previous tesseract." For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then the hologram shifted again, and the predicted shape appeared, eliciting gasps from the audience. The trial continued, each prediction more complex than the last. Zextra's experience and innate spatial reasoning abilities served him well, but Alex's unconventional, human approach to problem-solving, enhanced by their training with Zolax, allowed them to see patterns that even the Kraxar missed. In the end, it came down to a final prediction. Both Alex and Zextra had 2 correct answers. The entire arena held its breath as Alex studied the ever-shifting hologram. "The next configuration," Alex said, their voice steady despite the pounding of their heart, "will be a Klein bottle, self-intersecting at these 7 points, creating a hyper-dimensional fractal." The hologram froze for a moment, then exploded into a dazzling display of light and geometry. The predicted shape materialized, more complex and beautiful than anything Alex had ever seen. "The mind trial is complete," the administrator announced. "Alex Chen of Earth is victorious." A cheer erupted from the crowd. Alex let out a breath they hadn't realized they'd been holding, a mix of relief and exhilaration washing over them. They had won the first trial, but the hardest challenges were yet to come. Zextra's scales darkened with anger, but he inclined his head in grudging respect. "Well played, human. But do not think this small victory will save you from what comes next." The arena shimmered once more, transforming into a grueling obstacle course that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Gravity shifted unpredictably, surfaces morphed and changed, and holographic hazards sparked with very real danger. "The body trial," the administrator explained, "will test your physical prowess, endurance, and adaptability. You must complete the course in the shortest time possible. Failure to finish or interference with your opponent will result in disqualification." Alex swallowed hard, eyeing the course with a mix of determination and trepidation. This was Zextra's element. The Kraxar's physical abilities far surpassed those of humans, but Alex had trained hard, pushing their body to its limits and beyond. "Competitors, take your positions," the administrator called out. Alex and Zextra moved to the starting line, muscles tense, ready to spring into action. "Begin." They launched forward, Zextra immediately taking the lead with his powerful strides. Alex gritted their teeth, focusing on maintaining a steady pace. They knew they couldn't match the Kraxar's raw speed, but perhaps they could outlast him. The first obstacle was a series of platforms that phased in and out of existence. Zextra leaped from one to the next with practiced ease, his reflexes allowing him to predict the patterns. Alex, drawing on their training with the holographic simulations, adopted a different strategy. Instead of trying to match Zextra's timing, they used the brief moments when multiple platforms were solid to make longer, riskier jumps. As they progressed through the course, Alex began to close the gap. Where Zextra relied on brute strength to power through challenges, Alex used creative problem-solving and their smaller size to find alternative routes. The final stretch of the course was a sheer wall that seemed to stretch endlessly upward. Zextra reached it first, his claws digging into the surface as he began to climb with incredible speed. Alex arrived moments later, their arms and legs burning with exertion. Looking up at the insurmountable climb, Alex knew they couldn't win through conventional means. Then, they noticed something. Subtle air currents, almost imperceptible, flowing up along the wall's surface. In a split-second decision, Alex leaped onto the wall and then pushed off, spreading their arms and legs wide. The air currents caught them, lifting them upward in a controlled glide. It was risky. One wrong move and they would plummet. But it was their only chance. Zextra, hearing the gasps from the crowd, looked down in disbelief as Alex rose past him, riding the air currents with a grace that belied their exhaustion. With a final burst of effort, Alex reached the top of the wall, collapsing across the finish line, mere seconds before Zextra's clawed hand grasped the edge. "The body trial is complete," the administrator's voice rang out. "Alex Chen of Earth is victorious." The arena erupted in chaos. Never in the history of the trials had a non-Kraxar competitor won the body trial. Alex lay on their back, gasping for breath, scarcely able to believe what had just happened. Zextra pulled himself over the edge, his scales shifting through a range of colors that Alex assumed represented a complex mix of emotions. "Impossible," he growled. "How did you?" "Adaptability," Alex managed between breaths. "Humanity's greatest strength." As the cheers of the crowd washed over them, Alex slowly sat up, the realization dawning that they were now one trial away from achieving the impossible. They had won the mind trial through unconventional thinking, and the body trial through clever strategy and adaptability. But the final challenge, the spirit trial, remained a mystery. The administrator's voice cut through the commotion. "Prepare yourselves. The final trial, the spirit trial, will begin shortly. Remember, this challenge will test the very essence of who you are. There is no physical arena, no tangible opponent. You will face your deepest fears, your greatest doubts, and the very core of your being." As the arena began to shift once more, transforming into a featureless void, Alex caught sight of Professor Lyrina and Zilax in the stands. Their expressions were a mix of pride, hope, and deep concern. Alex took a deep breath, centering themselves. Whatever lay ahead in the spirit trial, they would face it with everything they had learned, everything they believed in, and the unbreakable spirit that had carried humanity to the stars. The void enveloped them, and the final trial began. The aftermath. The arena fell into an eerie silence as Alex Chen and Zextra were enveloped by the void of the spirit trial. For the spectators, there was nothing to see. The battle now raged within the minds and souls of the competitors. Minutes stretched into hours, and still there was no sign of the trial's end. In the stands, Professor Lyrina's galaxy eyes swirled with concern. Beside her, Xilax's bioluminescence pulsed erratically, a clear sign of the being's anxiety. "What's happening to them, Professor?" Xilax asked, their voice barely above a whisper. Liarna's silver fingers tapped a complex rhythm on the armrest of her seat. "The spirit trial is different for every participant, Xilax. It forces them to confront their deepest fears, their most crippling doubts. For some, it's a battle that lasts mere minutes. For others—" She trailed off, her gaze fixed on the empty arena floor where Alex and Zextra had disappeared. Inside the void, Alex found themselves adrift in a sea of memories and emotions. Scenes from their life on Earth flashed before their eyes. The day they learned of the Galactic Academy's existence, the proud faces of their family as they boarded the ship that would take them to the stars, the moment they first set foot on alien soil. But interspersed with these moments of triumph were darker visions. The whispers of doubt that had plagued them since arriving at the Academy grew louder, more insistent. Images of failure, of letting down not just themselves but all of humanity, threatened to overwhelm them. "You don't belong here," a voice that sounded disturbingly like their own whispered. "You're just a human, weak, primitive, hopelessly outclassed. What made you think you could compete with beings that have traveled the stars for millennia?" Alex struggled against the tide of negativity, trying to remember the lessons they had learned, the progress they had made. But each positive thought was countered by a wave of doubt and fear. Meanwhile, Zextra faced his own internal demons. The proud Kraxar warrior found himself confronted with the weight of expectations placed upon him since birth. The faces of his ancestors loomed before him, their expressions filled with disappointment and shame. "You let a human best you," they seemed to say. "You have brought dishonor to the Kraxar Empire. You are unworthy of your lineage." Zextra roared in defiance, but the sound was swallowed by the void. For the first time in his life, he felt truly alone, cut off from the warrior heritage that had always defined him. As the trial wore on, both competitors found themselves pushed to the brink of mental and emotional exhaustion. It was in this moment of utter despair that Alex remembered Professor Liarna's words. "Remember why you're here. Let it be your anchor, your guiding light." With tremendous effort, Alex focused on that spark of purpose that had brought them to the Galactic Academy. They thought of Earth, not just their family and friends, but all of humanity. They remembered the long journey their species had taken, from huddling in caves to reaching for the stars. "I am here." Alex spoke into the void, their voice growing stronger with each word, "because humanity has something to offer the galaxy. We may not be the strongest or the most advanced, but we are resourceful. We are adaptable. We face the unknown, not with fear, but with curiosity and determination." As they spoke, the oppressive darkness began to recede. Alex felt a warmth spreading through them, a sense of connection not just to their own species, but to the vast, diverse tapestry of life that made up the galactic community. "I am here to learn, to grow, to show that humans can stand alongside the most ancient and powerful species in the universe, not as conquerors or subjects, but as equals, as friends." With a final surge of will, Alex pushed back against the doubts and fears that had plagued them. The void shattered like glass, and they found themselves back in the arena, gasping for breath but standing tall. Moments later, Zextra materialized as well. The Kraxar warrior looked shaken, his usual air of superiority replaced by a look of deep introspection. The administrator's holographic form appeared between them. "The spirit trial is complete," it announced. "Both competitors have faced their inner demons and emerged. However, only one can be declared the victor." The arena held its breath as the administrator turned to face the audience. "In all the long history of the trials of Torkath, we have never encountered a situation quite like this. Alex Chen of Earth has demonstrated exceptional adaptability, creative problem-solving, and a spirit that refuses to be broken. Zextra of the Kraxar Empire has shown formidable strength, unwavering determination, and the ability to confront deeply ingrained cultural expectations. The administrator paused, its energy form flickering slightly. After careful deliberation, taking into account performance across all 3 trials, we have reached a decision. The victor of the trials of Xorkath is Alex Chen of Earth. For a moment, there was complete silence. Then, the arena erupted in a cacophony of cheers, gasps, and exclamations of disbelief. Alex stood rooted to the spot, their minds struggling to process what had just happened. Zextra stepped forward, his expression unreadable. Alex tensed, unsure of what to expect. But then, to everyone's surprise, the Kraxar warrior extended his hand. "You fought well, Alex Chen of Earth," Zextra said, his voice carrying a newfound respect. "You have proven that humans are indeed worthy of their place among the stars. I apologize for my earlier behavior." Alex took Zextra's hand, marveling at the turn of events. "Thank you, Zextra. Your people's warrior spirit is truly impressive. I hope we can learn from each other going forward." As they shook hands, a ripple of approval went through the crowd. It was a moment that would be remembered for generations, the day a human and a Kraxar warrior found common ground. In the days that followed, the impact of Alex's victory reverberated throughout the Galactic Academy and beyond. News of the humans' triumph in the trials of Xorkath spread across the cosmos, challenging long-held perceptions about humanity's place in the galactic community. Alex found themselves at the center of a whirlwind of attention. Students from species they had never encountered before sought them out, eager to learn more about humans and their unique approach to problem-solving. Even some of the more aloof faculty members began to take notice, integrating human perspectives into their lectures and research. One afternoon, as Alex sat in the Academy's Grand Library, poring over texts for their xenobiology project, they were approached by Professor Lyrina and the Academy's chief administrator. "Alex Chen," the administrator said, its energy form pulsing with what might have been excitement. "Your performance in the trials has opened up new avenues of discussion within the galactic community. We believe it's time for a more extensive cultural exchange program with Earth." Alex's eyes widened. "You mean?" Professor Lyrina nodded, her galaxy eyes swirling with pride. "We're proposing to significantly increase the number of human students admitted to the Academy. Moreover, we wish to establish satellite campuses on Earth itself to facilitate the exchange of knowledge and ideas." The implications were staggering. This could accelerate humanity's technological and cultural development by centuries, while also allowing other species to benefit from human ingenuity and adaptability. "That's incredible," Alex breathed. "But why me? Surely there are more qualified individuals to consult on this." The administrator's form shimmered. "You have demonstrated the best of what humanity has to offer, Alex Chen. Your unique perspective and experiences make you invaluable to this process. We would like you to serve as an official liaison between Earth and the Galactic Academy." As the discussion continued, outlining the details of this new initiative, Alex felt a profound sense of purpose wash over them. They had come to the Academy hoping to prove that humanity deserved a place among the stars. Now, they had the opportunity to help shape the future of human-alien relations for generations to come. In the weeks that followed, Alex found their schedule busier than ever. Between their regular studies, meetings with galactic diplomats, and mentoring sessions with newly arrived human students, they'd barely had a moment to catch their breath. But despite the challenges, they had never felt more alive, more connected to the vast, wondrous universe around them. One evening, as they stood on one of the Academy's observation decks, gazing out at the star-filled sky, Alex was joined by an unexpected companion, Zextra. The Kraxar warrior stood silently for a moment, his scales reflecting the starlight. "You have brought great change to the Academy, Alex Chen," he said finally. "Some of my people are uncomfortable with how quickly things are shifting." Alex turned to face him, concern etched on their features. "And you, Zextra, how do you feel about it?" Zextra was quiet for a long moment. I have spent much time reflecting since the trials. Our encounter in the spirit trial. It forced me to confront aspects of myself and my culture that I had never questioned. I realize now that there is much the Kraxar can learn from humans, just as there is much you can learn from us. A smile spread across Alex's face. I couldn't agree more. In fact, I was hoping we might work together on some of these new exchange initiatives. Your perspective would be invaluable. Zextra's eyes widened in surprise, then narrowed in what Alex had come to recognize as a Kraxar smile. I would be honored. Alex Chen of Earth. Perhaps together, we can forge a path that honors tradition while embracing new possibilities. As they stood there, a human and a Kraxar warrior united in purpose, Alex felt a profound sense of hope for the future. The road ahead would not be easy. There would be challenges, misunderstandings, and obstacles to overcome. But for the first time, it felt like the diverse species of the galaxy were truly ready to come together, to learn from one another and face the unknown as a united front. The trials of Xorkath had been just the beginning. The real adventure, the grand collaboration between humans and the myriad species of the cosmos, was only just beginning. And Alex Chen, once an uncertain student struggling to find their place, now stood at the forefront of this new era. As the stars twinkled overhead, Alex made a silent promise. To Earth, to their new alien friends, and to themselves, they would continue to push boundaries, to challenge assumptions, and to show the galaxy that humanity's greatest strength lay not in physical prowess or advanced technology, but in the indomitable spirit that had carried them from Earth's cradle to the vast expanses of space. The universe, with all its wonders and challenges, awaited, and humanity was ready to take its place among the stars.